Hello, beautiful souls. Have you ever looked at your child and thought, why are they so emotional today? Why does everything seem to tip them over the edge? Why do they seem completely fine 1 minute and then suddenly they're completely overwhelmed? If you're raising a sensitive, intuitive, or neurodivergent child, today's episode may completely change the way you understand what's happening. Because sometimes what looks like difficult behavior is actually an overwhelmed energetic system asking for support. Now, before we begin, I want to say something really important. I'm not suggesting every meltdown, every anxious moment, or every challenging behavior is caused by energy. Children are wonderfully complex. Their physical health, emotions, nervous system, sensory experiences, relationships, and environment all play an important role. But what I have found, both with my own daughter and through working with many families, is that for some sensitive children, their energetic well-being can also be a piece of the puzzle. Today, I want to gently introduce that possibility. By the end of this video, you'll know 5 signs your child's energetic system may be overwhelmed and how simply to recognize those signs and just change the way that we respond to them. So for years, I thought my daughter would grow out of her meltdowns. There was almost always a trigger. She was hungry or she was tired or she'd had a really busy day. But when the meltdown came, there was no stopping it. You could see her whole body bubbling. She would collapse straight to the floor, sometimes in public. She couldn't hear me. She couldn't explain what she needed. Her whole body just became overwhelmed. As a mum, that's heartbreaking, and I wasn't seeing her as being a naughty child. I was seeing her as a little girl who genuinely couldn't hold everything together anymore. Then something changed. As I began understanding children's energetic systems, I started noticing a pattern. There were certain days, places, or certain people where she seemed completely energetically exhausted. And when I began supporting not only her physical and emotional well-being, but also her energetic well-being, everything slowly started to change. Now today, she recognizes the signals in her own body. Instead of immediately lying down on the floor or melting down, I see her bubbling up and she'll often say, "Mom, I'm really hungry," or "I need a break." She's become aware of what her body is trying to tell her. Now she is 10 years old, so this has taken a little while to master. But now every evening before bed, I also call upon her spiritual team. I invite Archangel Michael to lovingly clear and protect her energy. I ask Saint Germain's violet flame to transmute any energies that aren't hers. And one of the beautiful changes we've experienced since doing this is that she no longer needs melatonin to fall asleep. She's ADHD, she finds that a real struggle. Every child is different, and I can't promise the same outcome for every family, but this journey completely changed the way I understood my daughter. It stopped me from asking what's wrong with her, and it helped me to start asking, what is she trying to communicate? That question has become one of the biggest gifts in my parenting because behavior is communication. Our children's bodies communicate, their emotions communicate, and for many sensitive children, their energy communicates too. So let's explore the 5 signs that may suggest your child's energetic system is becoming overwhelmed. So the first sign is big emotions that seem to come from nowhere. Sometimes children move from calm to completely overwhelmed, and it feels like just in a matter of seconds. Maybe you've thought, yeah, but nothing has actually happened. But something did happen. Maybe it was too much noise, too many emotions around them, too many people, too much stimulation. Some children absorb the atmosphere around them long before us adults even notice it. And it's really intentional. It just simply means that they're experiencing the world differently to what us as adults sometimes experience it. So the second sign is that they change after being around people. Have you ever noticed your child becomes, they come home from school and they're completely different? Perhaps they're cranky, argumentative, hyperactive, emotional, or even just withdrawn. And sometimes we think, "Ugh, they're just tired," and often they are. But I also encourage mums to become curious. How much energy has your child been surrounded by today? They've been in a busy classroom or playgrounds, shopping centres, sports, crowds in general. And for highly sensitive children, that can feel enormous. And I know I feel like this after being around certain people or crowds or busy places as well. So I can definitely recognize that one. The third sign is that they struggle to regulate even when their needs are met. Sometimes you've done everything. They've eaten, they're hydrated, they've slept, you've connected, and yet they still seem unable to regulate. And this doesn't mean that you've done anything wrong or missed anything. It just simply invites another question. Could there be another layer needing support? I like to imagine our children have 3 batteries: a physical battery, an emotional battery, and what I call their energetic battery. Throughout the day, each one slowly empties. Sometimes their energetic battery drains much faster than the others, particularly if they're highly sensitive, empathetic, intuitive, or neurodivergent. When that battery becomes depleted, their nervous system often has less capacity to manage life's little frustrations. And it's all about recognizing this other part to get a whole complete picture of the child. The fourth sign, they suddenly feel not like themselves. Parents often tell me, my child just isn't themselves today. They're snappy or flat, anxious or reactive. Sometimes there are obvious reasons, sometimes there aren't. Again, I simply invite curiosity. It's all about exploration. And the fifth sign, your intuition keeps saying, there's something more. I truly believe mums know their children. If you keep feeling, I know there's something I'm missing, just don't ignore that feeling. Your intuition doesn't replace, professional support or outside input, but it can help guide the questions you ask. You know your child better than anyone. Trust that quiet inner knowing. So if today's video resonated with you, I hope one thing has shifted. Instead of asking, how do I stop this behavior? Perhaps you'll begin asking, what is my child trying to communicate? Because the single question that really just changed everything for me. So in the next episode, I am going to show you exactly what I do at home to gently support my daughter's energetic well-being. We'll walk through some simple practices, including calling on your child's spiritual team, working with Archangel Michael, using Saint Germain's violet flame, and creating an evening energetic reset that many mums can begin incorporating into their bedtime routine. So if you'd like practical tools you can start using straight away, make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you on the next episode. And if you would love personalised support for your child, I'll leave the information for my children's rainbow recalibration sessions in the description below. Every child is unique, and that is just such a blessing for us. So I'm sending you and your little one so much love.